Welcome to Database Applications, MIS103, going through the Review 1 found on page 45 of your textbook. In order to do Review 1 on page 45, you're going to need a couple of files. One way to get them, one possible way, is to go to your Google Drive, and then within Google Drive, look for the area called Shared With Me. Within Shared With Me, you should find an Access 2016 student data file set shown here. And then within that, the folder called Access 1. Within the folder Access 1, look for the Review folder. And then within the Review folder, you're going to right-click and download all the items you find here. You may not need them in this particular review, but you're going to need them sooner or later. So go ahead and save these to your drive. You're going to use them. Okay, so let's take a look at page 45 and let's see what we got here. Item 1, it says create a new blank database called vendor, okay, and save it in the folder where you are storing your files. Okay, so for my class, here's how you do it. We're going to start Access by clicking in the Cortana bar, type in the word Access, and then find the Access application. Left click, open that. And it takes a moment to open. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is left click on the blank database. This screen, very important. Don't underestimate this one. You're going to type in the name of your application. The author says it's named vendor. In my class especially, it's called vendor with your last name and the number 1. Here's why. The file that you're going to use today will become the file you'll use for Module 2, which will lead to the file you'll use for Module 3, which will become the file you use for Module 4. This will become much more apparent as you move from one module to the next. The second thing, Microsoft assumes you want to put everything in the Documents folder. That's okay. It's all right. But that's not where you put your downloads. In fact, most people, when they're in Chrome, they put their downloads in the Download folder. So that's where I'm going to put my application so that everything is in the same folder. Okay, so I have the name of my database and I have my destination. All right, that's set. We're going to click Create. And this particular opening screen is awful. Don't use that. There's a better one out there for you. Okay. This is what we'll do. We'll click on Create and Table Design. What we need here is a supplier ID, a company field, a category, an address, a city, state, zip, phone, contact first, contact last, and an initial contact. And that's all explained right there in the picture, figure 1-31. Here's how an easy way to get it entered. From the design view of the table, you type in supplier ID. Notice there's no space here in the field name. Okay, I want to reiterate and restate and repeat that often. All right, spaces belong in labels and captions. Everything else, no space. Hit the tab key, tab, tab. Next item, company, tab, tab, tab. Category, tab, tab, tab. And there it goes, address, tab, tab, tab. City, tab, tab, tab. State, tab, tab, tab. Zip code, tab, tab, tab. Phone, tab, tab, tab. Contact first, tab, tab, tab. Contact last, tab, tab, tab. And the initial contact, tab. Oops, stop here. The initial contact is not a short text. This one is going to be a date. I like dates. Dates are good. Okay. Now, the next key ingredient here is to set the supplier ID. Okay, notice where I'm pressing here. Left click the supplier ID record selector and then choose supplier ID as the primary key. That's key. All right, pun intended. Then we're going to left click and save the table, and I think it's called supplier. And choose OK. So everything seems set for items 1, 2 and 3 in our items, and then 4. 4 is a list of typing. So now that we've done this part, we've saved it. We're going to right click in what I call the tickle spot, right click and change data sheet view. And we're going to start typing. Okay, YUM345 tab. Yummy dog food tab. Resale tab. Hey, you know what? You could sit here and watch me type all this in. Or you could go ahead and type your own in. Tell you what, let's do that. You type yours, I'll type mine, and I'll meet you at the next video.